Alright, so I've already gone and plugged the USB stick into this computer. When booting from a USB, you're going to have to press a key the moment you turn the computer on so that it knows that you do not want to boot normally. In this cell, it happens to be F12, but in other computers, it varies. So some keys to look out for different computers. Sometimes it's F12 like this one, sometimes it's F10. Sometimes it's escape, and sometimes it's F2. I know it sounds like they should have one standard for this, but it's up to the manufacturer of the computer. Actually, when you're booting your computer, look in the bottom, look in the corners. It's not always the bottom left. On this computer, it happens to be, but look in the corners of the screen. The moment you turn on your computer, the first thing that you see on the screen is going to be where you're looking for this stuff at. And it's going to tell you if what button to press for the boot menu or boot options. And if you only see one option to go to the BIOS, that means that the boot menu is within the BIOS. So you're going to want to press that button to go into the BIOS and then find the option to boot from USB. All right, so let's start it up. All right, so I pressed F12. Just keep pressing it. You're probably, if it's the first time you're doing it, you're gonna have to turn off the computer and turn it back on numerous times until you actually see the button you're supposed to press and press it in time. All right, so this is the boot menu. See those options right there? Those are all the options for booting. Normally it's the hard drive, but all right, let's see. I'm gonna select the USB storage device. Look for different wordings for different computer manufacturers. Some might say USB disk drive, some might say external drive, something like that. Just look for something that gives you any clue that it's USB, something external. All right, so I chose that, and this is the Puppy Linux load screen. It tends to load pretty quickly after the first time. The first time it loads, it takes a while because it's getting a feel for your computer, but I believe that they save the load information on a USB drive, so next time you boot, it's going to be quicker. But to be honest, it probably takes about the same amount of time to load from your regular hard drive. Once you factor in that Windows load screen that just revolves, and then you get to your desktop, but then it still takes a couple of minutes to actually be usable. So with all that in place, I'd say that this is quicker because once it boots, it's able to run. You could do wireless or internet on this perfectly fine. All right, so this was the screen I was talking about. Let me move it down a little so you can see the bottom. All right, so this is the desktop of Puppy Linux. It's pretty similar look-wise to Windows, but the hardest thing to get used to with Puppy Linux is single click. You're gonna probably open up programs 5 or 6 times by accident, but once you get used to it, it's gonna be much easier. Here's a web browser. I accidentally clicked on a GNOME player. Like I said, it's single click and it's very sensitive. But it works just like any other operating system. But this is enough to scare people off. So anyway, when it comes to data recovery, here you could see the current hard drive that I have installed on the computer. And all you have to do is click on it. And then that's your file system. So that's where all your files are. A lot of people don't know where to save stuff, but when I'm doing data recovery, I sit down, talk to them. I ask them, do they use like my music, my pictures, my videos? Those are things that are built into Windows, and it's just what people normally use because it's right there for them. They don't know anything about changing stuff, so they just put everything there. So you just want to navigate to those folders, and then next to that, you see other drives installed on here. And that's the USB flash drive. If you have more files that can fit on a USB flash drive, just plug in an external hard drive and you could easily drag files from the hard drive built in to the external. It's not going to ask anything about Windows permissions, which will happen if you try to do the same process within Windows. So it just makes everything easier. It's built for lightweight use and portability. And you can plug this into any computer and have all your files saved in one spot. So yeah, that's why I like Pup Linux. I mainly use it for data recovery, but if someone really just wants a lightweight OS that they could bring to anyone's computer, maybe a friend's, maybe a library computer, and still have all their files and everything laid out the way they want, this is the operating system for you. But if you're just interested in getting back pictures, movies, video, or whatever, anything that you had on your computer and the hard drive is not dead, then you can either take out the hard drive, plug it into a different computer, and then boot that to Pup Linux. If the computer is broken itself. But if the hard drive is dead, I'm sorry, but you're just shit out of luck, to be honest, because that's what stores all your personal information, the hard drive. But if it's just the computer that's having a problem, then this is going to be great for you. All right, thanks.